My name is Jacob West, and I'm 32 years old. I was always the quiet one in the family, the one who stayed out of the spotlight. My older brother, Tom, was the one who excelled, always the first to get everything, from the promotions at work to our parents' approval. I never minded, at least that's what I told myself. But deep down, I always knew that no matter how hard I worked or how much I gave, I would always be second. My mother, Gloria, made sure of that. She had a way of making everything about her and only about her. When Maya, my wife, died in that crash, it felt like my world crumbled. But it didn't seem to matter to anyone but me. Now I'm left alone to figure out what really happened to her, and why everything I thought I knew about my family is a lie. I should have never trusted them. And now, as I stand here looking at the signed papers, the house sold without my knowledge, I realize that something much darker is at play. They're hiding something. Something worse than I ever imagined. I'm standing in the sterile lobby of the San Francisco airport, clutching my phone, watching the notification bubble pop up in my family's group chat. I have to stop myself from throwing it across the room. Flight lands at 5 p.m. Can someone pick me up? The moment my finger taps send, I know the answer. I already know the sting that's coming. I stare at the screen, waiting. As the seconds crawl by, I feel the weight of the past few days pressing harder against my chest. The flight was long, and the grief never let up. It's only been a week since the accident, but every hour feels like a year. My hands still shake, even as I type, even as I try to convince myself that it's just exhaustion. The first reply comes from my mother. Gloria. It's sharp and dismissive. Take the bus. We're already at dinner. I blink. The coldness of her words hits harder than I expected. Dinner? The words loop in my mind, making no sense. Maya is dead, and I'm standing here alone in an airport after burying her, but dinner is more important? A second text comes from Tom. We're busy. Uber works. I read both responses again, a sharp ache in my chest. My breath hitches. They're not even pretending to care anymore. Not a single "how are you holding up?" Not even a "sorry for your loss." Just logistics. The simplest form of human decency has been stripped away, and what's left feels like nothing but cold, harsh duty. It's like their sympathy broke the moment Maya did. I'll never ask them for help again. I type the words back quickly. No worries. I'll figure it out. I hit send without thinking, because that's what I do. I've always done it. Never make a fuss. Never make them feel uncomfortable. I was raised to never ask for more than they're willing to give. I don't know why I keep pretending that things are different now. The group chat stays quiet for a while, and I stand there, looking out at the flashing lights of San Francisco, trying to gather my thoughts. But I know something isn't right. The knots in my stomach twist tighter. The unease isn't just about the empty texts from my family. It's something deeper, something I can't explain. By the time I get to the curb, I'm already feeling the cold of the city seeping into my bones. The familiar hum of city traffic surrounds me, but the streets feel strangely distant, like I'm an outsider looking in. The rideshare car pulls up with the usual, indifferent beep. I climb in, already pulling my jacket tighter. The driver barely looks at me, and I don't mind. My eyes are glued to my phone, rereading the messages from the group chat. That's when I see it. A text from my father, Grant, just a few minutes ago. He didn't reply, of course, but I didn't expect him to. He never does. He's the silent one, always lurking in the background, letting Gloria and Tom run the show. We have a situation here, the message says, followed by a series of numbers and names, things that make no sense to me. I stare at the message, my heart rate picking up. I know my father, and he doesn't talk like that. He doesn't ever use words like situation. What the hell is going on? I swipe through the thread again, feeling an odd chill crawling down my neck. I'm supposed to be grieving, supposed to be allowed to feel something. But this doesn't feel like grief anymore. It feels like I'm trapped. trapped in a world where no one cares enough to pull me out. And then, as I glance at the city skyline through the window, it hits me. They're hiding something from me. The city blurs into lights, and I realize I don't have to wait to find out what it is. Whatever secret they're keeping, it's about to blow up in all our faces. But I can't let them do it again. The car swerves slightly as we make our way into the city. I barely notice. My mind is racing, running through every possibility. What could they be hiding? The light from the street lamps flickers as we pass through downtown. The cold air creeps through the cracks in the window. I grip the edge of my seat, desperate for an answer, for a sign. I can't let it go. I need to know why Maya's death was so convenient. The car turns a corner, and my phone vibrates again. This time, it's an unknown number. I don't hesitate. I pick it up immediately. Jacob West, a voice says, low and measured. Yeah, who's this? I ask, already bracing for what's coming. You've been asking too many questions, the voice replies. You don't want to know the truth. I freeze. Why don't you stop digging? It won't end well for you. The line goes dead. My breath catches in my throat. I'm being watched. I slam the phone down onto the seat, heart pounding, as the driver takes another turn, and the city outside seems to close in on me. I can't back down now. The envelope is still sitting on the passenger seat. I haven't touched it since I saw the message that sent my pulse racing. They know you're looking for the truth. I can't shake the feeling that the walls are closing in on me. The city outside the car window seems to blur and warp, as if it's not real, like I'm in some kind of fever dream. The darkened streets, the flashing lights, everything feels off. I hold the envelope in my hand now. The weight of it doesn't make sense, but I can't open it. Not yet. Not when I'm not sure what will happen when I do. There's a pit in my stomach, a gnawing sensation that refuses to let go. I don't know who sent this, but I'm about to find out. The car pulls into the driveway of my old house. My mind flashes back to the last time I was here, Maya and I, standing together, holding hands as we looked at the house we bought together. It felt like home. Now, it feels like a prison. I barely recognize it anymore. I reach for the door handle, but my fingers freeze just before I touch it. A shadow moves across the living room window. Someone's inside. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel it. The hairs on the back of my neck stand up, and I'm suddenly hyper-aware of the quiet around me. The soft hum of the city seems miles away as I look up at the front door. There's no sign of forced entry, but it feels wrong. Too wrong. I take a deep breath, trying to steady my heart. The door clicks open under my hand. The hinges squeak, and the door swings wide, letting in the chill of the evening air. My footsteps echo in the empty house as I step inside. Everything's gone. The furniture. The pictures. The warmth we once shared here, it's all vanished. I walk through the living room slowly, my hand trailing across the bare walls. This house should have been my sanctuary. Now, it's just an empty shell. I'm not sure what I expected to find, but it wasn't this. I didn't expect the whole house to be emptied out like it had been abandoned for years. The silence is suffocating. I turn to leave, but my phone rings. It's Tom. Jacob, you need to come by the office. Now, he says, voice tight with something I can't place. I hesitate. What's going on, Tom? I ask. I don't have time to explain. Just get here. His tone is sharp, clipped. The line goes dead. I stand there for a second, the phone still in my hand. Why the hell did he sound like that? I drop the phone onto the counter and grab my jacket. There's something in his voice that doesn't sit right. He knows I'm onto something, and I can't help but feel like it's all coming to a head. I drive to Tom's office, my mind racing. Every street sign, every turn, every inch of the road feels like it's leading me deeper into some unknown. There's something I'm not seeing yet, something that's been hidden from me. Maya's death? The house being sold? It's all connected, I know it. But how? When I arrive, Tom's car is parked outside, but the office building is dark. There are no lights in the windows. The kind of darkness that feels suffocating. I walk up to the door and try the handle. It's locked. My heartbeat quickens. I knock once, twice. No answer. Then, I see something that catches my eye, a small crack in the glass of the door. I push it open. The office is eerily quiet, just like everything else. Empty desks, papers scattered across the floor. It's not just abandoned, it's been ransacked. I step inside, the sound of my shoes on the floor echoing in the stillness. Every piece of furniture feels wrong. Everything's been disturbed, as if someone was looking for something. A drawer is left half open. I pull it out, and the contents spill onto the floor, files, documents, receipts. My breath hitches as one of the papers lands face up. The bold heading reads, Final Transfer of Assets, West Estate. This doesn't make sense. Why would Tom have this? Why would any of my family be involved in this? I pick up the paper, my hand shaking. There, right at the bottom, is a signature, my signature. But it's not my handwriting. It's messy, rushed, but unmistakably forged. The walls are closing in again. I feel like I'm suffocating, like I can't get out fast enough. What the hell have they done? Suddenly, I hear a door creak open behind me. I whip around, my heart hammering in my chest. Standing there in the doorway is Tom, a look of coldness in his eyes that I've never seen before. He's not alone. Gloria, my mother, steps into the room, her expression unreadable. Jacob, she says coolly, as if this is just another normal conversation. You should have stayed away. The air between us feels thick with something I can't name. My mouth goes dry, and I feel the weight of everything crashing down on me at once. You sold the house, I say, my voice barely a whisper. You sold everything without telling me. It was necessary, Gloria replies, her tone sharp, like she's already made peace with it. You were too wrapped up in grief to make any decisions, Jacob. We did what was best for the family. Best for the family? My voice rises, the words bitter in my mouth. You used me. You used Maya's death to cover your own tracks. She smiles, a cold, calculated smile. You've always been too naive, Jacob. This isn't just about the house. You need to understand that. Tom steps forward, his face hard as stone. It's already done, Jacob. You can't undo it now. My heart drops. This is it. They've been lying to me from the start. I take a step back, the rage bubbling up inside of me. You think you've won? I say, almost laughing. You've underestimated me. Gloria's eyes narrow, and I know, whatever they've been hiding, it's far worse than I imagined. The door behind me slams shut. I'm trapped. I stare at my phone, the screen still glowing with the last message I received from Gloria. It's barely past midnight, but sleep isn't an option. The house feels colder now. I can't stop thinking about her face, the way she looked at me like she was hiding something, a secret too dark for me to understand. The weight of it all presses down harder than the grief from losing Maya. I never should have trusted them. The envelope is still in the passenger seat of my car. I want to ignore it, to pretend it's just some sick joke, but I can't. It's as if it's calling me, pulling me in. I reach for it, slowly, almost unwillingly. My hand trembles. The paper feels too real, too heavy in my palm. There's a photograph inside, Maya's face, smiling, the way I remember her. But the man standing next to her, the one with the too perfect smile, is a stranger. There's a note taped to the back, written in a hurried, jagged script. They know what you're looking for. If you want answers, stop digging. It's dangerous. I freeze. They know? My breath catches in my throat. This isn't just about the house. This is bigger. This is something much darker. I slam the envelope back on the passenger seat, my hands shaking. I need to focus. I need to understand what's happening. My mind races, replaying the conversation with Gloria, trying to catch the pieces that don't fit. I drive through the empty streets, the city's lights blurring into streaks of gold and silver as I push the accelerator harder. I can't sit still. Not now. Not when everything feels like it's slipping away. Tom's office is about 10 minutes from here. The air outside is sharp, biting at my skin as I park in the nearly empty lot. The office building looms in front of me, dark and foreboding. I can hear my heartbeat in my ears as I step out of the car, each footstep echoing in the night air. There's something unsettling about this place. Maybe it's the way the shadows cling to the corners of the building. Or maybe it's the eerie silence that surrounds it. Either way, I know that I'm walking into something I won't be able to walk out of the same way. The front door is unlocked. I don't know why I expected it to be. I step inside, the faint sound of my footsteps mingling with the soft hum of the overhead lights. The office smells stale, like it hasn't been used in weeks. I move past the rows of empty desks, the papers scattered across the floor. This place is nothing like it used to be. And then I see it. A file on the desk, half open, sitting there like it was waiting for me. I walk over, my hand reaching out almost involuntarily. The name on the file catches my eye, West Estate, final transaction. My stomach drops. I flip it open. Inside, there's a letter, one I didn't sign. It's dated 2 days ago. I scan through it quickly, each word burning through my veins like acid. The house was sold. The assets transferred. And I never signed a damn thing. Someone forged my signature. And I know exactly who did it. I snap the file shut, a burning rage surging through me. This isn't just about money. This isn't about property. This is about control. About everything they've been keeping from me. I hear footsteps behind me. I don't turn around. I thought you'd be here, a voice says, and I feel a chill run down my spine. It's Tom. His voice is cool, calculated, too calm for what's happening. Too calm for what I'm holding in my hands. I turn to face him. His eyes are cold, expressionless, like he's waiting for me to speak. His hands are buried in his pockets, a mask of indifference plastered across his face. Why? I asked, the word barely escaping my lips. Why would you do this? Why would you betray me like this? His lips curl into a smile, but there's no warmth in it. You think I betrayed you? He asks, his tone condescending. This was never about you. You've always been the last to know, Jacob. The one who never figured it out. He takes a step forward, and I feel my blood run cold. What are you talking about? I growl, my voice rising in anger. What the hell is going on? Tom steps closer, and I can hear the faintest tremor in his voice. The truth isn't always as simple as you think. Maya knew that. She was getting too close. And now you're doing the same thing. What the hell are you talking about? I demand, but my heart sinks as I start to understand. Maya was digging into things she shouldn't have, he continues, his voice quieter now. She knew things about the business, about the family that, well, let's just say they didn't want her to find out. And you? I ask, my eyes narrowing. What do you have to do with it? Tom doesn't answer right away. Instead, he looks around the room, his gaze flickering, like he's unsure of how much to reveal. The silence between us stretches on, thick and uncomfortable. Finally, he speaks. I didn't want to do it, but sometimes you don't get a choice. You never get to decide how far you'll go to protect what matters. Before I can respond, the door to the office bursts open. Gloria walks in, her heels clicking against the floor, the sound sharp in the tense silence. I see the gun in her hand before I hear her speak. It's over, Jacob, she says. You've gone too far. Tom steps back, and I feel my pulse quicken. This isn't just a conversation anymore. This is real. My mouth goes dry. What is this, Mom? I ask, my voice steady despite the fear rising in my chest. What are you doing? You're too stubborn, Jacob, Gloria replies, her voice almost bored, as if she's done this before. You should have stayed in your place. She raises the gun. My body reacts before my mind has time to process. I move to the side, adrenaline surging. This isn't happening. This can't be happening. And then the lights flicker. In the split second it takes for the room to go dark, I feel it, the cold breath of danger. Something is coming. Something worse than I ever thought possible. I'm still standing there in the darkened office, heart hammering in my chest. Gloria's gun is pointed at me, but the air feels thick, as though time itself is holding its breath. I can barely hear my own pulse, but I hear the scrape of her heel on the floor as she steps forward. Jacob, she says, her voice cold and calm, like we're having a casual conversation. You should have stayed away. My eyes flicker to Tom, but he's not moving. He's standing there, eyes narrowing, as if this is a show, a performance he's already seen. No urgency. No emotion. Just silence, watching. I don't know what to say. What do you say to your mother when you realize everything you've known is a lie? How do you confront the people who raised you when you find out they're the ones pulling the strings of your own destruction? Put the gun down, Gloria, I say, my voice steady, but I can feel the tremor running through me. This is insane. She doesn't respond immediately. The silence stretches on. The weight of the gun in her hand seems to grow heavier with each passing second. I try to make sense of what's happening. Maya's death. The house. The forged papers. This sudden confrontation. They're hiding something. I thought you were different, she says after a beat, her voice barely above a whisper. But you're just like the rest of them. I'm still trying to process her words when I hear the unmistakable sound of footsteps. Quick, purposeful. The door behind me slams open with a force that shakes the walls. A figure steps into the dim light of the office, a man, tall and broad, wearing a dark jacket. I don't recognize him at first. Gloria, you know we can't let him go, right? The man says, his voice low and dangerous. There's no hesitation in it. It's as if he's been waiting for this moment, preparing for it. Don't worry, Marcus, she replies, eyes not leaving mine. It's already done. He's too deep in this. Too dangerous. My stomach churns. Marcus? I don't have time to process the name. My mind is racing. This is bigger than I thought. There's something more going on here, something far darker than I ever imagined. You've been digging where you shouldn't, Jacob, Marcus continues, taking a step closer. But you're not going to like what you find. I swallow hard, trying to suppress the rising panic. The air is thick with tension. This is no longer a family argument. This is a threat. An unmistakable one. I take a step back, my hand instinctively reaching for the desk, as if it will somehow anchor me. This is it. This is the moment everything changes. Gloria's eyes narrow. You're asking too many questions, Jacob. And now, you've crossed the line. I'm not scared of you, Gloria, I snap, my voice rising with the adrenaline surging through me. I'm not scared of any of you. A dangerous smile plays at the corner of her lips. You should be. And then, in a swift motion, she pulls the trigger. I freeze. Time feels like it's standing still. I hear the faint click of the gunshot echoing in the room, but there's no pain. No impact. Just a sharp, deafening sound in my ears. I blink. And then I see it, a small hole in the wall just inches away from my head. The gun wasn't aimed at me. It was aimed at the wall. I'm confused, disoriented. Did she miss on purpose? I told you, Jacob, Gloria says, her voice as cold as ice. This is what happens when you don't listen. I realize, in that moment, what she's doing. She's trying to intimidate me. But it's not just the gun. It's the entire game. They want me to back down. To stop asking questions. To stay silent. But I can't. Not now. Not when I know how deep this goes. I take a deep breath, steadying myself. The room is closing in on me, the walls pressing tighter with every passing second. I can't back down. I can't let them win. The door slams open again, and this time, it's Lena, the private investigator Maya hired months before her death. She stands in the doorway, breathless, eyes darting from Gloria to Marcus to me. Her presence feels like a lifeline. Gloria, don't, Lena says, stepping forward with an authority I didn't know she had. This has gone far enough. Gloria's eyes flick to Lena. And who the hell are you? I'm the one who's been digging into your little operation, Lena shoots back, her voice steady, unflinching. And trust me, you don't want this to escalate. For the first time, Gloria hesitates. The gun lowers just a fraction, but the air is still thick with hostility. Go ahead, tell him, Lena, Gloria says with a mocking tone. Tell him everything we've been hiding. Lena's eyes flicker to me, then back to Gloria. Maya wasn't just investigating your business. She was looking into your entire network. The illegal transactions, the money laundering, the things you thought you could bury. She takes a step closer, daring Gloria to make a move. You didn't just kill her for the house, did you? You killed her because she was going to expose you. The room is silent. Lena's words hang in the air like a weapon. And then the tension snaps. I wasn't going to kill you, Jacob, Gloria says, her voice tight with anger. But now I'm considering it. Then do it, I challenge, my voice cutting through the room. If you're so sure of your power, then finish it. But just as the words leave my mouth, Lena moves. Faster than I can comprehend, she's at my side, pushing me toward the door. We're leaving, Lena says, her voice urgent. Now. Before anyone can stop us, Lena pulls me into the hallway. My heart is still racing, my mind trying to catch up with what just happened. My mother, my own mother, was ready to kill me. And Marcus. He's more than just a pawn in this twisted game. We reach the stairs, and as I look back at the office door, I can't shake the feeling that someone's watching me. I don't know who to trust anymore. Not Gloria. Not Tom. Not even Lena. But one thing's clear. The game is far from over. The room is too quiet. I stand frozen in the hallway, Lena's hand still on my arm, pulling me away from the office. Her grip is tight, but I barely feel it. My mind is reeling, too many thoughts crashing together, not enough answers. Gloria's words echo in my head, you've crossed the line. And Marcus, he's part of this too. I can't trust anyone anymore. Not Tom. Not even Lena, no matter how she looks at me right now with that mixture of sympathy and urgency. Lena pulls me down the hall and into the stairwell. The heavy door slams behind us, but it feels like we're still trapped in that suffocating room with Gloria and Tom. The air in the stairwell is stale, almost suffocating. My lungs feel tight as I breathe in. You're going to be okay, Lena says, her voice soft but firm. Her eyes are searching mine, like she's trying to figure out if I believe her. I don't. Tell me what's really going on, I demand, spinning to face her. What did she mean, Lena? What does Marcus have to do with all of this? Her jaw tightens, and she takes a breath, looking away for a moment. I don't have all the answers, Jacob, she says, finally meeting my gaze again. But what I do know is that your family. They've been covering up more than just your wife's death. This goes deeper than I thought. Her words hit me like a slap. What are you talking about? I snap, my voice breaking despite myself. What the hell are they hiding? You said Maya was investigating something, was she? Was she killed because of this? Because of them? Lena hesitates, her eyes flicking to the door, her nerves showing. I shouldn't be telling you this, but Maya was onto something big. And I think you're next. The sting of her words hangs in the air like a threat, but I can't let it sink in. Not yet. I'm too angry, too desperate for the truth. We're halfway down the stairs when the shrill ring of my phone slices through the silence. I glance at the screen. It's an unknown number. My heart jumps in my throat. I pick it up without thinking. Jacob West, a cold voice asks, the words sharp like a blade. Yes, I answer, my voice barely above a whisper. I don't recognize the voice, but it's familiar in a way that makes my skin crawl. Stop looking into this, Jacob. You're already too deep. We're giving you a chance to back off before it gets worse. My grip on the phone tightens. Who is this? I ask, my voice shaking with rage. What do you want? The voice on the other end laughs softly, the sound cruel and void of humor. We want you to understand your place. Your family has always kept you in the dark for a reason. And now, you're about to see why. Before I can respond, the line cuts off. I stand there, frozen, the phone pressed to my ear like it's the only thing keeping me grounded. Lena looks at me, her expression unreadable. Who was that? She asks, her tone too calm. Too calculated. They're watching me, I say, my breath coming faster now. They've been watching me this whole time. We step out onto the street. The city is still bustling, but all I can hear is the rush of blood in my ears. Lena leads me to her car, but the weight of what's coming presses down on me harder with every step I take. This isn't just about the house anymore. It's not even about Maya. It's about something much bigger. I can feel it in the pit of my stomach. They'll kill me if I keep digging. Lena drives in silence. The tension between us thickens, but I don't have the energy to speak. I need answers. I need to understand how deep this web of lies goes. We turn onto a narrow street lined with old brownstones, the faint sound of a car engine breaking the stillness. Lena slows down and parks in front of a modest building that looks out of place in this part of the city. The neighborhood is quiet, too quiet. What is this place? I ask, already sensing the unease creeping into my gut. This is where the real answers are, Lena says. Her eyes meet mine, steady and firm. But you need to promise me something. I stare at her. What? You need to promise me you won't do anything stupid. I laugh bitterly. Like what? Like go back to my family and pretend everything's fine? You've seen what they're capable of, Lena. They almost killed me. She doesn't flinch. I'm trying to keep you alive, Jacob. You don't know what you're up against. The door creaks as Lena pushes it open. Inside is dark, the only light coming from the dull glow of a desk lamp. A man is sitting at the desk, papers scattered in front of him. His eyes flick up when we enter. He's older, graying hair, wearing a worn-out leather jacket. He looks at me like he's seen too much. Like he knows how this ends. Lena, he says with a nod, then his gaze shifts to me. This is the guy? Yeah, she replies. This is Jacob West. The man doesn't shake my hand. He doesn't even stand up. You know why you're here, right? He asks, his voice low and gravelly. You know who killed your wife. I freeze. My heart races. Killed? My mind starts spinning, but I can't focus. Not now. Not when I'm this close to the truth. I'm not here for your theories, I say, stepping closer. I want to know what really happened. The man meets my gaze, his eyes hard, unreadable. What you're asking for isn't just dangerous, Jacob. It's a death sentence. Lena's hand rests on my shoulder as she pulls me back slightly, sensing my agitation. There's a reason Maya's dead, the man continues, his voice barely above a whisper. And it's not just the family. They were part of it, yes, but there's someone else. Someone bigger. Someone you need to know about. The weight of his words hangs in the air. I feel a cold chill crawl down my spine. I'm not just dealing with a family secret anymore. This is bigger. This is a conspiracy, and I'm standing at the edge of it. You need to prepare yourself for what's coming, he says, his eyes locking with mine. Because the truth? It's going to destroy you. My stomach churns. This is more than I can handle. But I'm already too far in. I'm in too deep. And now, I have no choice but to follow this trail to its deadly end. The car skids to a halt outside the rundown building, the tires screeching against the pavement like a warning. My hands are still trembling, but I force myself to step out of the vehicle. Lena's eyes are focused ahead, the same cold resolve I saw earlier in the office. But now, there's something else, so fear. A flicker of uncertainty. She doesn't have to say anything. I know this is it. Whatever we're about to uncover, there's no turning back. I glance up at the old building, its windows dark and cracked. It looks abandoned, a forgotten relic of the city. But I know better now. Nothing is ever what it seems. The lights above flicker, casting eerie shadows across the broken street. It's like a scene straight out of a bad noir film. But this is real, and this is my life. Stay close, Lena murmurs. They'll be watching. We walk side by side, her hand brushing mine briefly before she pulls away. There's a weight between us now, not just the urgency of our mission, but the tension from the silence. Every step I take feels like it's leading me deeper into a place I can't escape. We enter through a side door, its hinges creaking as if the building itself is protesting our intrusion. The hall smells of damp wood and mildew, a stark contrast to the sharp, metallic scent of sweat and fear that clings to the air. I glance at Lena. She doesn't flinch, doesn't seem to notice the oppressive atmosphere that presses in around us. This way, she whispers, guiding me toward a narrow staircase that leads down into the basement. I want to ask her again what's going on, what they've all been hiding, but the words stick in my throat. I can't afford to look weak, not now. Not when I'm this close. The basement is colder than I expected. A single bare bulb swings overhead, casting long shadows that seem to stretch like fingers reaching out. I shiver, not from the cold, but from the overwhelming sense that we are not alone. Lena leads me to a corner of the room where an old wooden table is covered in papers, documents scattered haphazardly across its surface. Some are stained, others torn. But what catches my eye is the thick manila envelope sitting on top. Lena pauses, her fingers hovering over the envelope for a moment before she picks it up and hands it to me. This is it, she says quietly. This is everything. I take it from her, my heart pounding in my chest. I don't need to open it to know that what's inside will change everything. The question is, can I handle the truth? I tear open the envelope, the brittle paper crinkling in my fingers. Inside is a stack of photographs. At first, they seem innocent enough, just pictures of Maya, smiling at some event I don't remember. But then, I see it, the last photo in the stack. Maya is standing with Tom. Her eyes are wide, terrified. And in the background, there's a figure I don't recognize, a tall man, his face obscured by a shadow. But it's the next photo that hits hardest. It's a picture of my mother, Gloria, shaking hands with the same man. The man who I now know as Marcus. The man who's been pulling the strings from the beginning. The man who's been hiding in the shadows, controlling everything. The blood drains from my face. This is how far they've gone. I whisper, the words barely leaving my mouth. Lena nods grimly. They've been using Maya's investigation to cover up their own crimes. They didn't just sell the house, Jacob. They've been laundering money, running illegal operations through that business for years. Maya got too close to the truth. And they killed her to stop her from exposing it. I feel the weight of the world on my shoulders. My family. My blood. They've been lying to me for years. They've been using me, manipulating me, and I never even knew. I look at Lena, my mind spinning. What now? What do we do with this? Lena doesn't hesitate. We take it to the authorities. We expose them. We bring them down. I nod, though I know deep down that it won't be that simple. Nothing ever is. But as the reality of the situation settles in, one thought repeats in my head: it's too late for redemption. The people who I've called family have crossed a line from which there is no return. The question now isn't whether they'll be caught. The question is whether I'll make it out alive. We leave the building, the photographs burning a hole in my jacket pocket. The weight of the truth is unbearable, and every step I take away from that place feels like I'm leaving a part of myself behind. But even as the darkness of the night wraps around us, I know this is what I have to do. It's the only thing left. I used to believe that family was everything. That no matter what happened, blood would keep us together. But now, I know the truth. Family is only as strong as the trust that holds it together. And once that's broken, everything falls apart. As Lena drives me to the authorities, I glance at the photographs one last time, the faces of my family staring back at me, a reminder of everything I've lost. I can hear my mother's voice in my head, as cold and unforgiving as ever: "You should have stayed in your place." But I don't regret it. Not anymore. The sun rises over the city as we arrive at the police station. I step out of the car, the weight of the envelope in my hand, the weight of the truth on my shoulders. I'm done running. And this time, I'm not looking back.